I'm sitting.
I don't care who you are. I don't care how much money you make. I don't care how good you think you are in bed. I don't care what status you have. You can never change a woman for doing something that she always was in her DNA to want to do. Period. Point blank period. You cannot change no woman, bruh.
There is a house built out of
You love how to avoid the road to hell. And you don't do that because you're shaking your finger at them or because you're a moral authority. You do it because you don't want them to burn. I think there's too much of the moral authority still, not enough of the, the love that helps people avoid.
Is the wage gap real? Oof. We're gonna anger both sides with this answer. Answering your questions from a non-woke perspective every day this month. Do women make less than men? Well, it depends. You may have heard from every news media outlet that women earn 77 cents for every dollar a man earns. In 2009, Bureau of Labor looked at over 50 peer-reviewed wage gap studies and concluded that, no, the wage gap is at max 6%.
It's like 4 to 6%.
In fact, single young women in their 20s earned more than single young men in their 20s. This is also true in their early 30s. As far back as 1971, women have earned more than men when they have the exact same degrees. As far back as 1969, women who never got married have earned more than men who have never gotten married. Okay, so how do we get 77? That 77 cents number compared all of women to all of men. That study took a female secretary at the company and compared it to a male CEO, for example, and just said, look, it's gender discrimination because they're not earning the same amount. No, the secretary and the CEO have very different jobs. That's why they aren't being paid the same amount. Once you account for different types of jobs, hours worked, years of experience, not taking a break, etc., that's when you come up with a wage gap that's less than 6%.
I can't believe everything you hear.
But there is one thing that makes women's incomes disproportionately different than men's. It's children. Not only do women earn less hours, pick more flexible careers, etc. for kids, but employers see them as less committed to their work and less capable of spending extra hours on work. But maybe women with children are less committed to their work. It's for very good reasons. That's not a bad thing for society as a whole. Study after study shows us that women who are mothers value flexibility more than income. A bunch of woke scholars call this the motherhood penalty, but that's not exactly right either, because the term doesn't capture all of the benefits women, children, families, and society benefit from having someone who loves them raise them. And that 6% pay gap, we don't actually know what the cause is. So it could be because women make different choices. It could be discrimination. It doesn't account for a lot of things, such as employers will pay more for people who can drop everything and come to the office with no notice. That's typically not young mothers. They pay more for dangerous jobs. They pay more to people who ask for raises more often, which we know statistically are not women. This less than 6% wage gap is extremely nuanced for a lot of reasons, maybe including, but in addition to, discrimination. The discrimination factor may indeed be negligible, but most studies have concluded that this small wage gap is due to preferences and work. That's important because there's a huge difference between a wage gap based on your biological sex and a wage gap because you made different career choices than someone else. And maybe you're thinking the solution is a paid leave for mothers and fathers. Well, actually, I'm going to get into that in a later video. But for purposes of the wage gap, maybe women have this right. You shouldn't be trying to make women's careers look like men.
I am no man.
Maybe men could learn from women. We should encourage men to spend more time with their families. Maybe that would be a better benefit to society.
I'm sitting on the balcony, I see the ocean looking crystal clear. Like veneers, them bitches shine you when you stare. Let me introduce